Think back to your youthful days, the time between 20 and 25 years old. Back then, you might have had a close group of friends, late-night gatherings, stories, and laughter-filled moments of happiness. But as time passed, each person took their own path. The values you pursued changed, personalities evolved, and those once tight bonds may have faded, leaving just a few people, or perhaps no one at all. Many believe that a successful man needs many friends, that a vast social network is a sign of strength. But what if that isn't entirely true? What if confidence doesn't come from how many people remember you? What if it comes from the ability to stand strong, even when no one is around? What if being alone is not a sign of loneliness, but the foundation of an inner strength and wisdom that few ever attain? Have you ever wondered whether those times spent alone were truly a loss? Or were they the very moments that made you truly resilient? Imagine a crowded room buzzing with laughter and lively conversations, smiling faces, jokes exchanged, triggering bursts of excitement, an atmosphere filled with energy and connection. But among all these voices, how many people truly feel at peace? How many radiate real confidence, unshaken by the opinions of others? Or are they simply playing a role, masking their insecurities behind forced smiles and polite laughter? From childhood, we are conditioned to believe that the more friends we have, the more valuable we must be. That social recognition defines success. That being surrounded by people means we are loved, admired, and important. But have you ever paused to ask yourself, if your sense of self is constantly shaped by others, do you really know who you are? Or are you merely a reflection of their expectations? Maintaining a wide social circle can feel like an endless, exhausting performance. You must always be cheerful, always sociable, always present. You respond to messages, accept invitations, and sometimes even compromise your own comfort just to belong. A compliment can lift you up, but a single criticism can send you crashing down. Like a small boat in the vast ocean, you drift aimlessly, carried by the currents of other people's approval, never truly anchored in your own sense of worth. In the age of social media, this need for validation has only grown stronger. We carefully curate our online presence, editing photos, crafting perfect captions, chasing likes and comments. For a brief moment, the approval feels good. But no matter how many likes you collect, the feeling fades. The praise is fleeting. What lingers is an unsettling emptiness, a constant hunger to prove yourself over and over again. But what if you stopped? What if you no longer sought approval from the world? Instead, you turned inward. You listened, not to the noise around you, but to the quiet voice within. Would you recognize yourself? Would you find the courage to exist without needing validation? Because in the end, confidence is not built on numbers, followers, or fleeting praise. It is built on the strength you cultivate within, the unshakable certainty that your worth was never meant to be measured by others, but by the person you choose to become. But if validation from others is not the true measure of your worth, then what truly creates confidence? Imagine a man stepping into a room, his presence commanding without a single word. He does not seek approval. He does not glance around for recognition. He is neither swayed by admiration nor shaken by disapproval. He moves with quiet assurance, completely at ease in his own skin. What sets him apart? It is not arrogance. It is not status. It is something far rarer, true inner confidence. Many mistake confidence for external validation. We are conditioned to believe that the more friends we have, the more admiration we receive, the more secure we will feel. But confidence that relies on outside approval is the most fragile kind. It fluctuates like the wind, rising with praise, crashing with criticism. One moment, a compliment lifts you up. The next, a single negative remark makes you question everything. When your confidence is built on the shifting opinions of others, you are never truly in control of it. Real confidence, however, is different. It does not require constant reassurance. It does not crumble under scrutiny. Those who possess it do not let praise inflate their ego or let judgment diminish their worth. They know who they are. They understand what they want, and they refuse to let fleeting opinions dictate their path. This kind of confidence does not come from achievements, titles, or social validation. It is rooted in deep self-awareness and an unshakable connection to oneself. So how do you cultivate this kind of confidence? It does not happen overnight. It is forged in solitude, in the moments when no one is watching. It is built through self-reflection, by confronting your fears without waiting for encouragement. It grows when you learn to stand alone, not because you reject others, but because you no longer need them to define you. Now, ask yourself, if no one applauded your success, if no one praised your abilities, would you still believe in yourself? Would you still walk forward, unwavering, knowing that your worth has never depended on anyone else but you? If true confidence does not come from external validation, then where does the most enduring strength come from? The answer may surprise you: solitude. When you hear the word solitude, it might stir feelings of unease, even fear. Society has long painted it in a negative light, making us believe that being alone means being lonely, unwanted, or forgotten. But solitude is none of these things. It is not an emptiness to be filled. It is not the absence of people. It is a deliberate choice, a sacred space where you can truly connect with yourself. Some of the greatest minds in history have drawn immense power from solitude. They did not run from being alone. They embraced it. In these moments, they were able to think deeply, explore groundbreaking ideas, and cultivate an inner strength that no one could shake. When you strip away the noise of the world, when you detach from the expectations of others, something remarkable happens. You begin to hear the clearest voice of all, your own. Now, think about yourself. When was the last time you spent meaningful time alone? No phone, no messages, no distractions, just you in complete silence. In that stillness, you start to see yourself clearly. You begin to understand what you truly want, not what society tells you to want, not what others expect from you, but what you desire. And from that awareness, a deep, unshakable inner strength begins to take root. But here's the truth: not everyone is ready to face solitude. Many fear it because, without distractions, they must confront themselves. And that can be unsettling. It forces you to see your flaws, your regrets, and the thoughts you've buried beneath constant busyness. But for those who dare to embrace it, solitude is not an enemy. It is a teacher, a source of renewal, and a doorway to the kind of strength that no external validation can ever provide. Now ask yourself, do you have the courage to be alone, to stand in the silence and face yourself? Because that is where true power is born. Does embracing solitude mean cutting yourself off from all relationships? Absolutely not. True strength is not measured by the number of people around you, but by the quality of the relationships you choose to nurture. Imagine two men. One has an extensive network. His phone never stops ringing. His inbox overflows with messages, and his social calendar is packed. But when life takes an unexpected turn, when he is truly struggling, he realizes something unsettling. He has no idea who he can truly count on. His world is filled with acquaintances, yet he feels utterly alone. Now, picture the second man. His circle is small, only a handful of close friends. But these people understand him on a deep level. They support him, not just in moments of celebration, but in his darkest hours. Their presence is unwavering. Their words are honest, not just what he wants to hear. Who is truly richer, the man drowning in shallow connections, or the one surrounded by a few souls who truly see him? In today's world, success is often measured by numbers. How many friends you have, how many followers you've gained, how many invitations you receive. But numbers are deceptive. 100 surface-level connections will never compare to one genuine relationship. True friendships are not built on convenience or social status. They are built on understanding, trust, and loyalty, qualities that cannot be faked or forced. Now, reflect on your own life. Look at the people around you. Who truly listens when you need to be heard? Who stands by you, not just in moments of joy, but in moments of loss? And who remains only as long as it benefits them? Inner strength does not come from surrounding yourself with people. It comes from surrounding yourself with the right people. When you choose depth over breadth, when you prioritize quality over quantity, you no longer seek validation from the crowd. Instead, you build a foundation of trust, a support system that remains strong no matter how the world around you shifts. So ask yourself, are you investing in relationships that truly add meaning to your life? Or are you merely holding on to connections that offer nothing but empty company? Even when you understand that confidence does not come from others, and that depth in relationships matters far more than quantity, one major challenge remains. How do you stay true to this path when society constantly pressures you to conform? From an early age, we are conditioned to believe that success is tied to social status, that a person with a packed schedule, filled with meetings, events, and endless conversations, is someone who is well respected and admired. This pressure is not imposed by a single person. It is woven into the fabric of society itself. It comes from family, colleagues, media, and the digital world, all reinforcing the idea that being connected at all times is essential to being valued. But what if you resist? What if you choose to step away from this cycle, prioritizing solitude and self-discovery instead of constantly trying to meet expectations? At first, the shift can feel unsettling. People may question your absence. You might hear things like, "Why don't we see you around anymore?" Or, "Is everything okay? You've been so quiet lately." Their concern or curiosity is not necessarily a reflection of your well-being, but rather a reaction to your divergence from what they consider normal. And here's what most people don't realize. These moments of discomfort are not signs of failure. They are signs that you are finally reclaiming control over your own life. The key to resisting societal pressure is having a strong sense of self. When you know who you are and what you truly want, external opinions lose their power over you. Learning to say no to meaningless interactions, to relationships that no longer serve you, and to habits that exist solely to please the crowd. This is how you build unshakable confidence. And the most unexpected realization? When you finally step away from the weight of others' expectations, you will see the truth. You have not lost anything. Instead, you have gained everything. You have stepped into a life that belongs to you, a life where your choices are dictated not by societal norms, but by your own convictions. So ask yourself, are you living a life true to who you are? Or are you still chasing approval from a world that never truly sees you? After everything, what truly defines a strong man? It is not the number of friends he has, not the compliments he receives, and not society's approval. True confidence comes from the ability to stand firm without needing anyone else to validate your worth. Think about what we have explored. Seeking validation from others only drains you because it is a race with no finish line. A large social network does not guarantee security because only quality relationships truly add value to your life. And in solitude, you can find an inner strength and wisdom that few ever attain. When you stop chasing external expectations and instead focus on understanding yourself, that is when you become truly unstoppable. But to achieve unshakable confidence, you must accept one important truth. Not everyone will understand your choices, and that is perfectly fine. As you change, some people may drift away. You may face doubt and even criticism from those who are used to the old version of you. But the reality is, those who truly belong in your life will respect the path you choose. In the end, confidence is not something you gain through external approval. It is a mindset you develop, a deep understanding of yourself. When you no longer need others to validate your worth, when you can face life with a calm and steady heart, that is when you have reached a level of strength that no one can take away. Now, think about yourself. Are you truly living the life you want? Or are you still waiting for someone else's approval? And if one day you find yourself alone, standing in absolute silence, will you feel lost? Or will you finally realize that you have never been stronger? Where are you from? If you agree with this perspective, press number 9 and share your thoughts.